Hello, ladies and gents. It is time for part number 2 of Funday Monday, number 339. And I thought I'd start this off by sharing some personal shame with all of you, because it's something that I think I hold dear to myself. We're going to talk about day 9 as a small boy. Way back when I was a youngster, I looked ridiculous, okay? So, just to describe my general outfit, alright? Like, my mom liked baggy clothes, and of course your parents shop for you when you're a kid, right? So she'd buy me these large shirts that would, like, go down to, like, my legs, right? They were, like, extra large shirts. This shirt's a medium, right? I wear mediums and smalls because I'm thin. But, like, I would have these extra large shirts that would go down to almost my knees. They looked like dresses. So what I would do is I would tuck these gigantic shirts into the sweatpants that I would wear every day. So it was like this inner tube of cloth that was just like, it was these artificial love handles that I just had. So then what I would do is I had my sweatpants tucked into my bright purple Velcro snow boots that I also wore every day because I just thought purple was a cool color. I didn't think about coordinating. I was like, these shoes are awesome. And what I would do is I would actually play with the shoes when I was in class, right? So they'd go... And I would regularly get, like, I'd lose my recess and have to stand on the line because I, like, couldn't stop playing with my shoes. Because I was even a tweak back then, right? So I had my giant shirt tucked in sweatpants, tucked into snow boots, and then I would actually, I didn't gel my hair, I moussed it, right? And I would mousse it directly to the left. So it was like this sheet of hair, just like swinging over, and the mousse would like flake off and get into my eyes, and I was allergic to it. So they'd be like bright red. I'd have these unbelievably red watering eyes all day, and these glasses that were gigantic, and I would actually melt insects with them, right, during recess. I'd just be like, just, you know, roasting a little bit of stuff. And I thought it was cool when I was young to share random facts with people. I'd go up to a girl I liked and be like, hey baby, did you know the tree sloth moves an average of 6 feet per minute? Not a conversation starter, incidentally. Not the best way to get laid in 3rd grade, right? Not that that was my end goal, I just thought sloths were really, really cool. Now here's the shame part. Don't worry, we haven't actually gotten to the shame part, right? We haven't gotten to it. You might think that we just got done with a lot of that. We didn't. 3rd grade Sean, awesome in this story. But when I was young, I couldn't handle anything scary. I couldn't handle a single... Even the slightest scare would make me run out of the theater. And it all began on the movie Independence Day, when that guy got slammed up against the wall and he was like, release me. As like I don't know what I was, a 4th grader or something, I was just like, oh my god, that is the scariest thing that has ever happened, and I just launched myself out of the theater, and I stood out there, and my mom, she like ran after me, she's like, Sean, are you okay? Oh my god. And I was like, it's scary. It was terrifying. He had a tentacle on his neck. I was like horrified. And my mom was like, well, don't worry, let me go back in, I'll check if it's going to be scary anymore, and I'll come back in. My mom had never seen the fucking movie, right? She's just being a good mom. She's like, I'm going to go look. I'm going to talk to the director when I'm in there, and we're going to find out together if it's okay for you to come back in. I was like, okay. So she goes back in, and she just, like, counts to, like, 100 or something, and then she comes back, she's like, I don't think it's going to be scary anymore. You should come back in. But I was too scared to go back in, and I stayed out for the rest of that movie. And that movie is like 4 hours long. So I was exhausted standing. I like had to pitch a tent and like camp and sleep for a little while and wake back up. And starting then, up till I was like 15, I couldn't handle anything scary. I even ran out of Men in Black. Yeah, ran out of Men in Black. Too scary, man. That comedy movie, Men in Black, whoo! Oh, it's terrifying. It's unbelievable. So, I'm kind of breaking this. I'm breaking it. It's a word. I'm kind of breaking this habit, but not so much. And my dear friend JP McDaniel was talking to me last night. I said, "Hey JP, I kind of in the mood to watch a movie. What's a good recommendation?" He's like, "You should watch The Crazies." And I was like, "Oh, is that a scary movie?" He's like, "Kinda. You should watch it though." And I was like, oh, okay, great. Thank you, JP. I value you so much as a friend to trust to give me these recommendations for entertainment. And holy shit, JP is an asshole. Oh my god, there were like 40 people at my house last night playing Rock Band, having a good time, and I broke a bottle of Cholula in my room. You know that scene in the car wash when the guy's head like looks in through the back? I literally went, "Oh!" and I tried to push the monitor away from me and just shattered a bottle of Cholula on the wall, and it has a giant red stain on it. I can't, and I finished the movie, and okay, the movie is an hour and 40 minutes long. It took me 4 hours to finish. In a movie, you blast right through that shit, right? You're scared, blah, 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 and then you open your eyes, it's still going. You know what I do when I'm scared? I pause it. And I'm just like, oh, don't open that door, space bar. And I'm like, oh, and I sit there and I pant. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. And then I hit the space bar and it goes, ding, and I'm like, oh, and I hit space bar and I'm like, oh. And I actually stood back by the door. I stood back by this door right over here and watched most of the movie from back there with my arms clenched like this, and now my tendons are tired. Thanks, JP. Jerk. Suppose now that we should get back to part 2 of Funday Monday, which is of course the fact that it is ground and air mixture. Now, a lot of the game submissions I would not describe as high level. Would not particularly describe it as Grandmaster play. Let's look at one of those. So we're going to pop directly into said game. We're going to be doing a little bit of times 4-ing action. Bait. Bait is that blue Protoss in the top right. We do see BHJ as the purple Terran. And BHJ will be go. Who's what? I'm only building air units. I'm feeling like ground only. I mean, you guys could probably do better than that. We're probably going to have some more and more epic games as we continue, but that's not a big deal. We have Petro and Nimb down at the bottom right of this map where you can't expand ever because there's a million entrances, and for some reason there's just this... Wait, does it actually have the strip? Yeah, there's this little weird entrance strip that I don't really know why it's there, but Of course, they just hate the fact that you could take any bases at any point in time at all. And now we're starting to see a moment in 2v2 that I just do not experience. When in any game that you have played at any level, when there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're deciding on 5 entrances, do you say, yep, time to early expand, and I'll go air? You, on the other hand, I want you to go double barracks, factory, transitioning into building nothing out of that factory, followed by a ghost academy with no barracks that have tech labs on it. When do you see that? Here on Funday Monday. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? See, in my experience, if you're trying to play and you're against someone like, I don't know, one of those hack folks, not people who are hacking, but that team who has that hack tag, like Hack Protec and Hack Dragon Zerg, they don't really let you go for ghosts in a 2v2, but of course, we bring you the delight of seeing long-term games. We have Petro, the Terran player. We see Numb transitioning into Cannon, Zealot, Cannon, Cybernetics Core. Soon enough, we're going to see Warpgate get researched. Soon enough. We see a little twitching of the Cybernetics Core. Are we going to research at any time? Are we going to... Well, no, it looks like we're cannon rushing at minute 9. We're just going to go for a cannon rush at one of the entrances from a distance with our units all the way back here with no Warpgate research with a walled-in Terran player at minute 9. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The creative expression of these players, and we see the Void Race charging, nothing's built yet, but against the cannon, retreat, fully charged, attack, and the cannon rush did not end up working, and we see the Zealots do get repelled, and meanwhile, somehow, Bedge has managed to take yet another orbital command free expansion, and everyone's expanding and everyone's happy and accumulating more money. And we do see Bait eliminating things from air. He's not violating the Funday Monday constraint, but he's violating a lot of other rules of StarCraft 2, but that's fine. Petro's going to be expanding. We're going to see a Marine Marauder medevac transition into Hangout. The reactor is down in Engineering Bay. This will allow him to have another Engineering Bay. We also do see the tanks continuing to stockpile from Bedge. We see more expands going on. Both players clearly having a non-aggression pact, but Bait making DAT air units. Oh, and escape! At this moment in time, we have lost some units, but it looks like Bait has figured out this game. Air is incoming. We see the medevac drop. Oh! An attack on the expansion. At which point we see Bidge just saying, got it. Just sort of casual, just sort of like, you know, they're working, you know, in an office, and there's a call coming in, and it's like, hey, it's your lunch break. Do you got that? You know, oh, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Nothing too extreme going on. BHJ actually having the company barbecue in the center of the map. Just going to hang out. The siege tanks regaling all their stories of being awesome at hunting, these kinds of things. BHJ had another orbital command free. Don't want to commit too early. Looks like Petro just sort of asking if it's okay to be invited to the barbecue, but he wasn't, and now he's action going on in this 2v2. Bait using the Void Rays, the most awesome of all unit, because they micro themselves, and we see Bait. Oh my gosh, Bait's moving out. Bait's moving out. Uh-oh. Petro. Oh, because he never ever got that warp gate research. See, now you can just see the nice pacifying effect that researching has on the cybernetics core. See how it's turning nice and slow. Oh, thank God I have some purpose in life. There's kind of tweaky and twitchy and sort of unabashedly freak outish. Now, we do see Bait on the right side of that map, trying to move out, trying to swing in. But what do we have over here? Oh, we have the double ghost play. We don't see any nukes have been launched yet. It just looks like Num pretty much just had only 2 guys mining in the first place. But there it is. We see, oh, one time. Oh, what a tragedy. The huge attack coming in for Bait. If we come to the accounting station, we do see, many more Void Rays are coming this way for our red player. The nuke lands, still just 2 probes mining. Don't want to overcommit, and a recall to the left. Yes! Using DAT strategery. Bait now moving in. Oh my God, both these workers will lose all purpose. He will be getting about 8 less gas every now and again in the future as the result of the death of this expansion. And as the entire force moves in, oh no, Bait! And he gets on out of there. Ladies and gentlemen, DAT warping. So we do see the most terrifying thing in the world, another nuclear freaking missile. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Actually, where is it? I'm actually going to do some research here. Where did he go? Oh. Guess it was down here somewhere. He does have 1 kill, but that's fine. He's not really doing that much at this point in time. He is on hold fire. You will note that his gun is actually put away. Look at him. He's just hanging out there. One of the coolest aspects of SC2. As we zoom on back out, we see that again, both players transitioning into ages and ages and ages and ages and ages of passivity. It looks like BHJ is completely out of energy, no nukes, just sort of hanging out there. All players confused. And finally some action. Oh, a nuke. Oh, a nuke. Where's the nuke? This game. Alright, you know, there's a nuke going on somewhere, and it shall be forever be lost. Oh, he's nuking. Oh my God, he's killed 2 workers. Maybe he can up it to 4. You will note that indeed air units are pretty darn good against carriers. Or against these Marines. And now we see the Void Rays from Bait continuing to reinforce. But unfortunately, this Void Ray army moving in, and for any of you who thought that Marines were good against Void Rays, keep in mind, Void Ray is the most newbie unit possible if you want to ride the noob canoe down the river. One of the most comfortable seats is the Void Ray spot, all the way at the front and in the back, and in fact every seat allows you to build Void Rays because it is just such a friendly treat. And the base race begins. We see the Void Rays beginning to chew their way through, and the tanks from BHJ now moving into the natural expansion of Petro, who will respond by doing absolutely nothing. He has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The mothership now advancing forward, but amazingly, the Marine count appearing to be a little bit too high. Cleaning it all up, BHJ expanding to the worst location on the map, and perhaps the most hidden. It still has not had one of the many entrances to the original base knocked down, and there we see the players beginning to whack away to knock down the barracks being planted by BHJ. He knows he cannot make any air units, and likewise, Bait can't make any from the ground. In the unit counting station, we see a full 10 Void Rays. For the red Protoss, we see 5 Void Rays and 1 Ghost. It's going to be close. We see Nimb doing the long-range mining. He has a million billion gas. We also see that Bait is loaded! Look at that money! Transfer that! Oh my god, your partner is loaded! You guys are rich! This is awesome. I love any game where you're like, oh, I think I'm dead. Well, I do have another 10k to spend, so maybe we'll see if I can pull a miracle with that. Thank God they invented Ultralisks and battle cruisers, because I only have to hit that button a couple of times, and then I've spent absolutely all of my cash. We now see Nimb destroying absolutely everything. The planetary fortress that really should have been an orbital command, getting deplanetary fortress, is getting totally facialed. And oh crap, in the midst of all this, all the units have been death and Bait losing everything. We do see 30 Marines, 11 Void Rays versus 10 Marines and a Ghost, but we see a lot of reactors and BHJ using his completely unupgraded Marines. One time. I'm out of units for the moment. Well, you know what you could do, Bait? You could be a good teammate and send him any money at all at any point. He has like 5k. Oh my god, and there he is warping in the Nexus at the top. Send some of the money! The money! BHJ, of course, is apparently actually rich himself and has spent everything. You need to attack now. And the most vulnerable location on the entire map is the supply depots. Players are running low on bases, this giant fleet of Void Rays doing the distractatory action. And this is going to be close. We see Numb. Okay, Numb. Numb, all you have to do is not engage, Numb. Alright, Numb, you're going to have to be very careful here, Numb. You have to pull back, Numb. All you have to do is not that. Alright, if you guys just join forces together, I know you're both a little bit low on units now. You do see 55 Marines out right now for BHJ. He's going to gather them together. Petro trying to find... Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that little entrance! You see what I told you about? Why is that on the map? Use your Marines! Bait, why don't you contribute to the fight and send us some of that 3k, 2k you got hanging up in the bank? But that's fine. We are seeing the attack does indeed continue. No. Keep going with other Grupp if you can. And oh my goodness. Alright, Numb. You're going to have to try to harass this very carefully, Numb. Just as carefully as you can. You're going to need to diligently micro the Void Rays. Alright, never give up, never surrender. Hang in there. We do see BHJ continuing to marine his way to truth and to victory, and he's going to need to just micro this very carefully, pick off the building if he can. He's going to need to do it very carefully, and there we go. It looks like Numb might be able to pull it off. But the Funday Mondayers, Bait and BHJ holding their ground rather effectively. We see Numb getting taken out. Oh, BHJ doing the most appalling string of catastrophes ever known to man. Poor Red. But of course, Red gets it. Red is going to transition into walling off his front. And there it is. These pylons will help delay Void Rays and Marines. But of course, they don't know where he is yet. And oh no. Ah! Holy crap. He almost has Voids again, Bait. Hang in there, Bait. Rejoining together. And holy crap, you still have $1 million in the back. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why you play 2v2s, because even though you might not be Grandmaster, you can have some of the most awesomely, delightfully amazing comebacks ever. Numb leaves the game, Petra leaves the game. And you know what? I guarantee you, somewhere out there, there's a Red Protoss player thinking to himself, if only I had built more Void Rays, I would have been able to pull off that victory. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen, due to the fact that I told us an unnecessarily long story about me running out of movie theaters and that things frighten me quite easily, I want to tell you the following shameful thing. I let you know that during the crazies, it took me 4 hours to get through it. It took me 4 hours to get through, and I was texting one of my friends asking if he wanted to go to a sushi dinner. And I was sitting there, clenched like this, and I paused it. And I was like, whew, whew. And then my phone got texted and went doo-doo-doo, and I went, ah! And screamed, and my roommates actually came in and said, is everything okay? And I was like, no, I just got texted. It's fine. Oh, it was like teary. My eyes were like bright red. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to be going into part 3. We're going to take a brief break and end with the final 2 epic games of the evening. Part 3 coming up. Part 3 will be incoming for Day 9 Daily number 339. Ladies and gents, we will be seeing you in about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm just going to cook some tea real fast. See you in just that second.